All right. I'm unsure where this video should be categorized. What playlist on the YouTube channel, Social Alchemy Project. So I'm just going to go ahead and read it. The prolific researcher for the development of mankind. Introducing the Tyler Lord Hamilton Foundation and private practice for research gathering alignment to Post-Doctoral. For the last several years, I have been establishing myself as American senior graduate and postdoctoral research, humanistic cognition, psychological-based social scientist Tyler Lord Hamilton. As big as it is, I am of whom in fact works predominantly in the gay community, centralized to social justice, world leadership issues, ending degradation and humiliation of gaymanity in its self-parameters of justice studies. I am very famous for my lecturing as well as absurdist comedian acting, eccentric bizarre aristocracy as singer. The list goes on, if what I do as just and living with mental illness, bipolar/manic depression, depressed. This is about being honest about my self-value, who I am, and just putting it out there that I live with some emotional challenges that are always explored because of my chemical imbalance as a thing that can stand in my way. So I'm doing all I can to transcend, and I'd like men to transcend as well. As researcher to lead for the most of my art that I am gladly caring in society for, to make the point that a person like self can stay clean from off of meth when expressing self creatively. I call to attention that us girly boys/sissies and twinks must bring morality to a spiritually sickened heart of men that hate their homosexuality. Now, with my knowledge of and active status in West Hollywood gay community, I identify in my qualitative and phenomenological study potential participants from their appearance. That is identifying markers as twinks, sensitive, impressionable, young, thin, smooth, to center on human sex trafficking arguments about the existence of sex slavery and sexual exploitation amongst men. As gay leaders, if they listen to my arrival of personal behavioral characteristics of maturation and growing up, one day they will become, in theory, effectual as leaders advocating against the sin, thus teaching men to love their wholesome homosexuality and not distort it. Next to the element of self-solicitation into the study of gay men in some human sex trafficking rings being young males, I make it clear that this is a mechanism used to cope with the challenges of living as a young gay man in consideration of survival sex to, quote, get ahead, unquote, in parentheses, hopefully. It forms a part of the future prospects and self-imposed perceived future limitations for even the twink, supposing he may be some leader, eventually. But even his perception of a true leader has become dismantled, dishonorable, and distorted. Pardon me. It's midnight, and I'm up late. To prepare, and maybe you are too, to prepare the male servant leadership and not be distracted by immature, older pedophile and predatory men preying after young meat, trafficking them for ass. It requires a scholar practitioner to cooperate in the work for this gay twink social welfare. That is where I become handy, influential, owing to my past experiences and attaining my own therapy. I hope we're maybe halfway through, just to let you know. I think. I hold 3 undergraduate degrees gaining serious insigne, avec grande distinction, and Doctorate of Philosophy in Psychology PhD, with the concentration on cognition and instruction that have become the backbone to instruct men to observe themselves of their position cognitively, leave private conformist crime amongst homosexuality rights movement. Further, while my 2 undergraduate degrees are sociology and criminal justice, I hold a master's degree in public administration, MPA, with an emphasis in government and policy to guide the male leader in gay culture toward positive sexual politics and political homosexuality. This is when offenses that suggest itself between a group of men secretly congregating together to hold rooted factions of flawed legal composition, indeed deeply necessitate psychodynamic treatment, which is supposed to clearly depict moralism of any broader political, social, ideological male context that may seek one day his own individual leadership role. This is really intelligent stuff. I mean, from getting off of crystal meth, Tina, party and play, PNP, male prostitution, male hustling, pornography, okay? I was nominated as Mr. Nude Palm Springs. I was also produced in a porn. I know, I was a porn star. The film never came out, it never will, because it was actually done between friends. So I had a really enormous group solidarity and group identity among men, and there was crystal meth. So I was really, really, really saturated into white party. Boyfriends had the best cocaine in the world. They were in penthouses, I mean, etc. It's all very impressive. And when you start looking into the gay subculture, you start seeing bug chasing, the gift giver, conversion parties, paying a certain amount of money and going into an orgy where 95% of the guys are HIV pos, and you're there to chase the bug. With doing drugs, you sign a contract, so nobody is liable. So the sadomasochist and the assisted suicide of gay subculture has become so disturbing in my life. This is why I pursued my academy, my scholar practitioner, my independent research. Some people say, well, God, it's so convoluted and verbose. Yeah, I've been arrested twice for crystal meth, put in jail. This was no DUI. Immaturity, it was hard controlled substance. The judge says, next time, Tyler Lord Hamilton, you're arrested for meth. On conviction, you could be in prison for up to 7 to 8 years. So all the fantasy and the role playing and the man in uniform, the eroticizing gay subculture while you're pissing your innocence away, I have a big problem with that. A big fucking goddamn problem with that. That's why I'm reading this text. Because there's direct links to human trafficking. Period. I can prove it. Little boy walks across the street with a cute little ass, man boy, of age, whatever, and he's trafficking himself. He walks into busy traffic, but he's trafficking himself. He's the author of what he gets and what he finds. And it very well could be real estate, cars, 5 vacations a year, 3 homes across the world. It's a lot of glam, a lot of bling. And I got a problem with some of the sin. All of the sin. The distortion of love, the tainted love, the age play, the kink, the pedos, the forbidden, the taboo. Got a problem with it. It's not my ideal for a gentleman. Rewind. I'll get back into the text. Having studied and completed a program at the Ivy League Cornell University and learning to study and put my mental health, at the forefront, I attended a law and politics seminar at Stanford University along the side of participating in a workshop at USC, University of California, Southern California, and realized my outcome will be brave, not being dumbed down. So, pardon me, in order to have data collection and an effective section that explores the process of information gathering, technique plus solid methodology, I work predominantly in private practice as a motivational accountability life coach with counseling alternatives where the man is dealing with not only his mentally ill political system, but where he defines his lawlessness, reaches a level of wanting to change. My private practice is a company called The Giant Balloon, as it is aimed at working against human sex trafficking in the LGBT community, lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgendered. Surprisingly, it is headquartered in Los Angeles metropolitan area, explicitly Beverly Hills, Bel Air, and West Hollywood. While it began all over between Washington, D.C., San Francisco, and Palm Springs, long before bringing it to beautiful Santa Barbara, I was led to relocate most of the practice to LA on behalf of dissertation research, proposal, and content expertise in WeHo, West Hollywood. While my private practice began in DC, while I was working at the White House very briefly and was accepted into the fall session of the White House intern program, I was introduced to scum, liars, disturbing wealthy men in government, thus started to take my public practice seriously. My public practice that complements the clients that see me at the Giant Balloon, on the other hand, is called Social Alchemy Project, featured on YouTube channel. So I had this private practice, but I began to take a public practice very seriously. That public practice complements the clients that see me at the Giant Balloon, my private practice. However, it is called Social Alchemy Project, featured on YouTube channel. Alchemy is where you change one metal to another, okay? Alchemy means change, alchemist. So Social Alchemy is social change, social transformation project, Social Alchemy Project. Private and public practice, theatrical arts, and lecturing on my theories developed post-doctoral following dissertation about our countless endangered twinks in West Hollywood. All work that I handle is under the umbrella of the Tyler Lord Hamilton Foundation, TTLHF. I serve as Director of Research, Senior Research Planning Manager, Scholar Practitioner, and American Research Social Scientist at TTLHF. The Tyler Lord Hamilton Foundation is a prestigiously issued, self-governed, independent, scholarly-led, social science, action-oriented, emergency leader research organization that works toward protecting and saving the distorted, dishonorable heart of family via ethical, welcoming collective consciousness of aligned male social justice prevalence and our gay deliberative democracy promotion movement without force. As the work is very prestigious and a beacon of light, which helps gay men that cannot help themselves, I am after uplifting the man's heart, sociopolitically, spiritually, psychologically, and artistically with goodness. Being a teacher of morality at the Tyler Lord Hamilton Foundation, it is making all men worthy, even if they have done what degrades them. If I can communicate via pardon me. If I can communicate this via lecturing in the social sciences or eccentric, theatrical, proverbial, and intercessory performance arts, I am an artist. I have formed a community of trust with many men that will last a long time after I am gone. Dr. Tyler Lord Hamilton, PhD, forthcoming. It is June 2015. I will have completed my dissertation defense as of around April 2016, so I have a little under a year. Thank you for helping us raise the quality of life. Dankeschön.